Whorehouse in Texas, 1986. Betsi, you played Dotsy May.
I did.
Gary, you played Melvin P. Thorpe. Janice, you were Ginger.
Yes.
And Wayne, you were the governor.
That's correct.
So let's talk about that show. All four of you were in that show. I know there's got to be some great stories.
That show was a zoo.
It was crazy. It was really fun, but it was crazy. We had 36. Is that right?
Tons of people.
Tons of people.
Big
It was
cast.
one of the largest casts that had been in this theater. Maybe it was the largest cast at that time. I think one or two of the shows later have been more, but there were, well, it was just huge.
It was.
I remember Jill Mayne.
Jill was
She's
in it.
always associated with her line, I don't even know what y'all are talking
That's
about.
right. Jill Mayne was in it.
Judge
and
Mischin
Judge
was an
Mischin
Aggie.
was an Aggie.
John
I remember him
Elwood.
carrying in the chicken.
John,
He
yes,
carried the
John
chicken.
Elwood was the, in
Kicker.
the original play, it was a different place kicker. It was a different nationality. John's heritage is Swedish, and he knew Swedish
Oh.
from his upbringing, and so he whatever it was, and Joanne manipulated that role for him.
We did that show as a spotlight.
Because
Everybody
it
was very afraid of the community reaction to us doing that show.
Okay.
And also, I believe Richard Diller
language.
did actually drop the
He did. He
the
dropped it.
F-bomb, which is in the script.
Yes.
But Joanne felt that we could not do that as a main series show and sell it to our audience as part of their season membership.
We subsequently
And then
have
suddenly
twice.
the audience was filled up every night
It
with,
was.
with the
Right.
patrons.
So
It was-
what did that tell us back then? That
Well-
tells us that we thought that it was
Well, it had
like-
been dropped before
yeah.
in a main series play.
But then after time, now
It-
we've done it how many
Vanity
times as a
Vanity.
main series
Right.
show?
There was, however, at least one letter to the editor of the Telegram complaining
Uh-huh.
about us doing the show. I remember that.
I do. I can't remember. I think it was written by a preacher.
I think so. I think it
But-
was a minister.
You know,
Well-
you can please some of the people some of the time, and then you can do theater.
Gary,
Well, the preacher came to the show and saw the whole show. It's kind of like getting a dirty phone call and making 2 hours before they could get them to hang out.
I don't know that he did come to the show, but
Gary's,
Well, he knew what the premise of the show was, and
Yes,
he came
yes.
anyway,
The
right?
title kind of tells it.
It does tell it.
Yeah.
Gary's then wife, Susan Huddleston Gosney, was the choreographer, and I remember, actually I was double cast
And I was too.
as the governor. I didn't play every performance,
oh, that's right.
but I still do have my
Right.
boots with the taps on them.
You still have them.
I still have those, yeah. And I haven't used them in years. But she could never get me to stop waving my hands when I was trying to do the tap dance step, the little side step. But I think it was the best role in musical theater because you come out and do a few lines, one song,
And you
and the
feel
audience
it.
loves you.
It's a
And you
great
get
song.
you
And you're
get
gone.
a big ovation at the end, and you really haven't done much at all.
But that is a great,
Oh, it's a great
Scene.
role.
yeah. Betsi, shooting star.
I had the great pleasure of being cast by Natasha Tollison. We were talking about her earlier. And
And she's on the list to be a guest on this show.
I was so excited to get the part. And it was an aging hippie, which my father said, Bet, how well did you know that playwright? And I was right smack dab in the middle of the stage manager who's a little bit older. Natasha's a few years younger than I am. And I said, this happened in 1974 or 5 because of this reference, and everything in that script had either happened to me or one of my friends. Everything, all the music references, all that. So it was right in that little slice of, and the play is written by premier playwright by at UT.
I can't think of his name either.
Golly. Anyway, and I was graced with getting to perform with a man who had his acting degree from Yale. I was thinking, I'm not worthy. You know, so it was really great. He was much younger than I, and he was supposed to look 10 years younger than I am, and he did because he was. It's the best facelift ever, you know.
Janice, we've got Angel Street.
Angel Street, that was a show. That was, I think, the largest set that I was ever on that was not for a musical. It was gigantic. And it's a very old-fashioned kind of a play.
What's it about?
Well, have you ever seen the movie Gaslight?
I can't remember.
Ingrid Bergman?
Oh, okay, yes.
It's the original of that. It's about a woman whose husband is driving her crazy.
Oh, well,
Very,
we've all been there before.
very melodramatic, big costume show. There's a photo of me in that costume, which we rented and weighed. I can't imagine how much it weighed, and it was so big. Janice Sweet was the costumer. She would pull the skirt out, pin it here, and then wrap it around again. And I was wearing a waist cincher under it to get the proper silhouette and all this stuff. When we took my costume off at the end of the show every night, it just radiated heat.
Wow.
It was so hot and so heavy. And I had, I'd been sweating a little bit. My husband tried to strangle me. Lots of fun things happened to me in that show. That was the last show that I did for a number of years. I had some family issues going on. It was 99, I think.
Then
Was
did
that Buzz?
Angel Street.
Was he your crazy husband?
No, it was Tommy Eads.
Tommy Eads, that's right. That's right.
It was Tommy Eads.
Another good pianist.
And the end of the show, I think my character walks dramatically up the stairs. And I thought, it's going to take 5 minutes for the lights to come down, because I start down there and walk all the way up here and up.
That's what made it so dramatic.
It was a little hard to maintain the drama at that point.
Yeah. Betsi, jukebox.
Oh, that was a blast. For one, if there's anything to reincarnation, I was a big band singer and got killed in World War II. But anyway, so it was a play celebrating the music of, a musical review, celebrating the music of World War II. And then they subsequently did jukebox Christmas show. I didn't get to be involved in that one. I was busy, probably with a youth theater thing. But so it was four people. I was the alto, and Brianna Raisa was the woman one, the soprano, and Blake Simmons and Ryan Malsbury. And all those kids were young enough that I could have had them as a woman and not been naughty. So I was the old lady in the play. And it was fun. They made me dance and everything. I had a good time. I really did. It was fun because it was some of my favorite music.
Aw.
All the swing.
Oh, I love swing music.
Glenn Miller. I'm blanking on all the
Harry
great
James, Benny
composers.
Goodman, all those.
Benny Goodman.
Big band.
Harold Arlen, thank
Yeah.
you. Couldn't get the right name. Bunch of good music.
Duke Ellington. I think.
Duke Ellington.
Betsy, you mentioned you might have been in a conflict with a children's thing. How many
Youth
children's theater has
Woo!
been such a vital part of this?
I've been off and on working youth theater here for 30 years, 40,
How many kids?
35.
How many kids would you guess in our history have gone
Through this,
this
with the number
theater?
of people who still are doing theater, they're still doing youth theater. They're still. We were in youth theater.
I would guess thousands over the years.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands. I easily could be up in the 5,000 and you and I, we had a program for 7 years or close to it.
Was it that long?
Well,
Wow.
it was 7 years, but I don't think you were in the first one or two. But we
Possibly not,
We
yeah.
did. It was a wonderful program with things that are in the public domain.
Right.
We lifted.
We adapted.
She was the adapter primarily because she would adapt the script, and we cast. All the children came. They didn't audition; they just came. I don't know
Well,
how they signed up.
They
but
signed up. They did audition. We held auditions
We held
for their
auditions,
parts.
but they got everybody who signed up for the workshop got to be in it.
We had 2
And-
casts, and
yep.
then would flip them. One
One
would crew for the other. And we did a morning
I think
performance and an
one
afternoon.
of the things we forget to mention is that the theater impacts a lot of children, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
do children's shows.
Yes.
You know, we've done Seussical, the musical, with a lot of kids in it.
We've got
It
a
looked like
a youth production in the works for
Aladdin.
this next season.
Is it Aladdin? Yes, I read that.
So now, also bringing this up, because I think a lot of our viewers, they don't, I didn't know this when I first started volunteering here. We said the word public domain. So explain.